The glass slipped from my hand and shattered on the marble floor, sending red wine spilling across the white tiles like blood from a fresh wound. Every head turned toward me, but my eyes were locked on a single scene across the room. My best friend Daniel whispering into my wife's ear as his hand lingered too long on her back. She laughed softly, the sound light and familiar, but there was something in her eyes I hadn't seen before. A spark that wasn't meant for me. The music drowned out my thoughts, the bass thrumming through my chest. Someone asked if I was okay, but I couldn't answer. I just smiled weakly, picked up the shards and muttered something about being clumsy. Inside, my pulse was hammering. Daniel had been my best friend since college. He was the first to know when I proposed to Emily, the one who toasted at our wedding, calling her the luckiest woman alive. He and his wife Claire had just separated 2 months ago, something he'd been taking hard, or so I thought. I watched as he leaned in again, whispering something that made her blush. She touched his arm, a gesture so small yet intimate enough to twist something inside me. My throat went dry. I told myself I was imagining it, that she was just comforting him, that Emily, my Emily, would never cross that line. But the longer I watched, the more I saw the cracks forming. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she laughed. The way she looked down at her glass before meeting his eyes again. I knew those tells. I'd fallen in love with them once. When Daniel turned to grab another drink, Emily's gaze flickered to me. For a moment, guilt flashed in her expression, brief, almost invisible, but it was there. I forced a smile that felt foreign on my face and raised my glass in mock cheer. She smiled back, too bright, too rehearsed. I left the crowd and stepped out into the garden. The night air hit me like ice. The laughter from inside felt distant, hollow, fake. I needed to breathe, to think. Minutes later, Emily joined me, her voice soft. "You disappeared. Everything okay?" "Yeah," I lied. "Just needed some air." She moved closer, her perfume wrapping around me, familiar and suffocating. "You're acting strange." "Am I?" I said, forcing a laugh. "I just watched my wife flirt with my best friend. Forgive me for needing a second." Her face paled. "What?" "No, you've got it wrong, Mark. We were just talking." "Talking?" I repeated, staring at her. "That what we're calling it now?" She sighed, eyes glistening. "Daniel's been going through a lot." I was trying to make him feel included. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe every word spilling from her lips. But something in her tone, defensive, practiced, made me doubt everything. "Emily, I know you. I know when you're hiding something." She looked away. "Please don't do this here." Before I could respond, Daniel walked out, holding 2 glasses of champagne. He froze when he saw us. "Whoa. Am I interrupting something?" The silence that followed was thick, electric. Emily's hand tightened around her clutch. I stepped forward. "Actually, yeah. You are." He blinked, caught off guard. "Hey man, it's a party. Relax." Something in me snapped. "Relax? Watching you touch my wife isn't exactly relaxing." The laughter from inside faded. People were watching through the open doors now, their smiles faltering as tension filled the air. Emily tried to step between us. "Mark, stop it. You're making a scene." Daniel raised his hands, smirking. "You're seeing things, man. Maybe cut back on the wine." That smirk, the one that once meant friendship, trust, shared history, now looked like a weapon. I grabbed the glass from his hand and hurled it against the wall. It exploded, shards raining down. Emily gasped. Someone inside screamed. Daniel stepped forward. "You've lost it." "Maybe I have," I said. "But not before I noticed you couldn't keep your hands to yourself." His expression hardened, but before he could reply, a familiar voice cut through the silence. It was Claire, his ex-wife, standing in the doorway. She walked toward us slowly, her eyes sharp. "You always did this, Daniel. Every time. You think no one sees, but they always do." Daniel's confidence faltered. "Claire, don't." "Oh, I will," she said. "You see, Mark, you're not imagining things. He's been trying to get close to Emily for weeks. He told me she was the reason our marriage ended." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Emily's face drained of color. "That's not true," she whispered, but the tremor in her voice betrayed her. Claire handed me her phone. "Check the messages." I hesitated, but she unlocked it and thrust it toward me. There they were, screenshots, late-night texts, and blurry photos from a bar I didn't recognize. Emily. Daniel. Together. My heart stopped. The world blurred. The noise, the people, even the night itself fell away until all I could hear was the thundering in my chest. Emily reached for me, tears spilling down her cheeks. Mark, please, it wasn't what it looks like. But it was. It was exactly what it looked like. Daniel didn't deny it. He just stared at the ground, his jaw clenched, saying nothing. His silence louder than any confession. I stepped back, the pain twisting into something colder, sharper. You both deserve each other. And then I walked away. The next morning, the world felt eerily quiet. My phone buzzed with messages, apologies, explanations, desperate pleas, but I didn't answer. I went to the beach instead, sat in the sand, and watched the tide erase footprints one by one. That night, I got a call from Claire. He's leaving town, she said. Guess he can't face anyone. I stared out at the dark waves. Good. Do you hate her? She asked softly. I thought for a long moment before answering. No. I think hate would mean I still care. There was silence. Then the sound of the ocean between us. Claire sighed. Maybe we both deserve a new start. Maybe, I said. And for the first time in a long while I meant it.